Hey everybody, it is April 2nd, 2020. I'm Frank, I'm Mad Dad, and I am on day 14. Today's Thursday. Today is the last day of my isolation. Tomorrow I'm free. Yeah, wow, that 14 days, actually that 14 days has gone by pretty quickly, but then of course it's day 14, that's why. Yeah, so I'm really excited about ending this, and obviously I didn't get sick during this time, never felt bad, felt perfectly okay. So it means one of two things: either I was asymptomatic and I didn't have anything to start with, or sorry, if I was asymptomatic, I had it and I didn't have any effects. But then again, I'm kind of finding that highly doubtful, because even looking at the people that have been getting it, like Chris Cuomo, for example, the CNN anchor, who I've been watching him, he's saying that even though he didn't get it badly, he definitely felt it, and he's a pretty healthy guy. He's a few years younger than myself. So I'm going to assume that even all that traveling I did, you know, traveling through, I was in, over a 2-week period, I was in for 8 different airliners, went through San Francisco a total of 4 times, obviously Vancouver International, I was in Reno, Nevada, I was in Honolulu, Hawaii, and you know, the thing I did is I was really conscientious about not touching my face, which I just did, and also making sure that I wash my hands all the time. And I actually wound up running out of hand sanitizer, which I was using a lot. And I'm going to talk about hand sanitizers in a minute, because I read something really interesting about that. That's going to kind of be my topic of the day. But I made sure that I was washing my hands constantly. Now, I did not wear a mask at all, although I'm not telling my partner that, because I told her I was going to wear one because she asked me to, but I didn't, because nobody else was wearing them. And based on my video yesterday, which if you haven't seen, you should take a look at that point, the CDC and the health advisories were saying don't wear a mask. Now, of course, now they're starting to say, oh, well, maybe we should wear masks. Misdirection by the government. Anyways, if you want to see more about my comments about that, just check out yesterday's video, which I'll make a link to above. So anyways, I don't really believe that I was sick at all, so after the 14 days of being locked up in this little area here, I can go out. My partner is going to remove the invisible line, and then I can go and give her a big hug as well, which I'm really looking forward to, although I don't know how keen she is on that. She might think I'm still a little sick, but I'm going to give her a hug anyways, because hugs feel good. But don't do it unless you're living with somebody and you're both okay, and then you can hug and do whatever else you want as well. Anyways, I've been talking a lot about the number of cases, the number of coronavirus cases in the world, and once again, the numbers have just gone up. Amazing. It's amazing the way they've gone up. Yesterday, and I'm going to look at the United States, because that's really the closest that we have. I'll take a look at 3 stats here. United States, yesterday, there was a total of 215,000 cases, and there was a total of 1,000 deaths yesterday. So now the total number of deaths in the US as of yesterday is 5,102. Here in Canada, we've got 9,700 cases, and we've only had 114 deaths, 13 additional deaths yesterday. So, when you're apples to apples, I don't think we have it as bad. I mean, I could run the percentages and figure that out, but just from looking at the numbers, it doesn't look obviously nearly as bad. We're talking, 215,000 compared to, say, 10,000. So 20 to 1. And we've had a total of 114 deaths. They've had 5,000. So their death rate's almost 2 times greater than ours. That's an interesting statistic. 2 times greater than ours. So the US death rate is almost 2 times greater than Canada's. Now, I maybe have this wrong. If I do, you can certainly make a point of it. But you know, they've got a total of 5,000 deaths for 215,000, and we've got a total of 114 deaths for 10,000. So does that mean that we are just practicing social, I was going to say social engineering, but no, not social engineering. Are we practicing social distancing better? Or maybe it's because we're more of a rural country. It's a really interesting thing. I think a lot of the deaths obviously are in the New York area as well, which makes a big difference because it's a very high population in New York City, and that could obviously have a factor to that. If you have any comments, just leave them below. Tell me what you think, if you can explain this. So that was yesterday. So let's take a look at today. So today, as of whatever time it is right now, what time is it? It's 12:30 in the afternoon. So about 3:30 Eastern time. Got a total of 616 deaths in the US, 237,000 cases. So it's gone up by 22,874 cases. And there's still a bit of the day to go. So total cases in the world, 76,000. So, and the other stat is that yesterday we've actually broken over a million, total new cases as of 12 o'clock Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. So yeah, it's a lot of actually interesting stats. The website here, I'll throw this website online. It's called worldometers.info, and it's interesting because they show all of these things. Oops, you don't want to see that. They show what happened to it. Here we go. So they show all of this information, and then if you want to purchase the bikini, you can do that as well. I'm not sure how that's really relevant, but or you can find out what your IQ is. Test your IQ. What is your IQ? Oh my God, this is like the best lunch I've ever had. Look at this. I've got avocado toast, and I've got 2 eggs, and I got a salad, and this is another toast, and yeah. So that's why it wasn't such a bad time. Okay, I'm gonna have my lunch, and then I'll come back. So I'll be back in a bit. All right, so I'm back after that awesome lunch. Feel a whole lot better. So anyways, we were talking about the statistics, and yeah, anyways, the point is it's growing every day. So I mentioned hand sanitizers, and so here's the article that I read yesterday about hand sanitizers, and as you probably know, you cannot find hand sanitizers anywhere. And when you do find it, in a lot of cases, like if you look on eBay or Amazon, I don't think they're actually even selling it anymore because so many people were gouging. But the article that I read basically talked about, there's a store somewhere in the US. He had one large bottle of hand sanitizer that was going for roughly 4 times what the regular cost would have been. And he was asked to defend himself because, of course, people are sending him hate. They're hating on him and not being very nice to him. And basically what he said is, it's supply and demand. I had to pay 4 times the price for it that I would normally pay. So, I mean, it's just regular markup, and that's somewhat understandable. Now, the article went on to further say that the reason why there is a real shortage of hand sanitizer right now is because hand sanitizer is basically made from alcohol. And it's not so much the hand sanitizer. They had a certain supply. That supply is gone. The reason that the manufacturers cannot increase the supply is because there is no ethanol. Or is ethanol that what you put in gas? It's either, it's the alcohol that they use to actually create hand sanitizer. And that alcohol is being bought up by countries. You know, so for example, you may have the country of France that says, okay, the factories there are not allowed to sell this alcohol to any other countries. It has to stay in the country because we're going to need it for medical uses or whatever. And so that is the big problem. And so the companies that actually manufacture the hand sanitizer, and a lot of them I'm sure would like to be doing it because, hey, the more you sell, the more you make, and supply and demand and profit and margins and all this. But they either can't get the alcohol, or the alcohol itself has gone up substantially in price. So that brings me to my final point of the day. And it's really interesting to see how this virus and this pandemic is going to actually affect the entire supply chain and costs across everything. I think that we're going to see costs are going to go up for virtually everything, even after this is done, because what you're going to find is that in the manufacturing industry or the agricultural industry, you know, I think I mentioned previously, like fruit or whatever people are picking, lettuce, tomatoes, stuff like that. If people aren't out there picking because they're sick, or because they're not allowed to, or because they're not allowed, immigrants, which make up a lot of those laborers in the southern United States, probably in Canada as well, but I'd say mostly the southern United States, aren't able to come into the country, then those products aren't going to be picked. They'll either go bad, or there just won't be enough supply, and that will therefore increase prices. So we're going to see prices increase all over the place. Now, on the one good side, the price of oil's come down a lot. So that does have an effect on everything, and maybe it'll offset certain things. Yeah, I know economics is boring as shit, but I kind of like economics. And then you'll see over here, I've been watching the stock market as well, and you can see on this computer here, and the stock market is just going crazy. I don't know if you can, if it focuses on that thing. I maybe have to move out of the way there and it'll focus, but everything is like way down. And so I'm actually looking at different stocks and stuff right now. I got some comments about that, which I'll talk to you about tomorrow. The stock market, where there may be opportunities. I know nothing about stock market. I know diddly squat. Once again, supply and demand is what I understand. But you know, if it goes down really low, tomorrow the American jobs report comes out, I guess, and for Q1, and I think there's a projection as well, and that'll be interesting to see how it affects everything. But you know, if you have any extra money, and you know, obviously if you need it for your family and everything else, that's where it should go. But if you do have some extra money to invest, and I'm certainly not giving advice because I know fuck all, but what I think is that stocks are going to drop, and they say buy low, sell high, and they're going to be low. The question is how low will they go? That's the big question. So anyways, I know it's kind of a boring video. I hope you got something out of it. Like I said, today's my last day. Tomorrow I'm free. I'll let you know what happens as a free man. Probably not much more than what's happening as a locked in man. But I'll let you know. If you're first time here, please subscribe. Helps me out. Click the like, right? Put that little thumbs up. And yeah, I will talk to you tomorrow. Or maybe the next day, but I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. All right, thanks a lot. Hey, everybody stay safe. Don't fuck around. This stuff is serious. Don't take a chance on spreading it to somebody who may not be as healthy as you are. Yeah, practice social distancing, do all that stuff. Just be really safe. All right, thank you, bye.